Hey guys, quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Started with Taigatu. This is a brand that's based out here in the Northwest, started by two brothers, and their motto is freedom from ordinary. This brand is an amazing lifestyle brand. Go check them out, Taigatu. Use the code TOPRATEDMMA for a discount at the checkout. Reweb, they're a veteran-owned digital marketing agency, and they're on a mission to help 1 million small businesses and feed 1 billion people by giving back. In fact, if you go to their website, you can fill out a form right now. They will give you a personalized video review of your website and help you with some strategies for free. Just tell them Top Rated May sent you. Go check them out, rewebbed.com. Combat flags. They do flags like the one behind me and the original combat flag, which is a 4x6-inch flag made by fatigues that are donated to combat flags from soldiers that wore them. And the cool thing is, every combat flag that comes out to you has the story of the soldier that wore that fatigue. They have donated close to $80,000 to Stop Soldier Suicide, a great organization. Go check them out, Combat Flags. Rep Sports. Look, this is not your typical supplement store. These guys have everything and they taste great and it's good prices. Protein, weight loss, muscle build, pre-workout, you name it, they've got it. Plus, they're the makers of Raise Energy. Like I said, go check them out. Rep Sports at topratedmma.com. Use the code TOPRATEDMMA for 15% off your order and go order them too.
Brad, you're the CEO of LightSpeed. You're an author, sales master, all around badass, man. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. It was excellent to be invited. I appreciate it.
Let's go back, man. You grew up in Pacific Northwest. I'm also from Tri-Cities, Washington. Grew up in Seattle area, Covington. But what was childhood like for you out there?
You know, I had a pretty good childhood. You know, we were probably lower middle class, blue collar workers. Played outside, went up in the mountains. You know, normal. I think. Well, not normal now, but I think it was a great childhood.
Yeah, yeah. I remember hearing this story that you said on like Ed's show that when you were 6 years old, you were selling candy. I love that pitch that you would tell people about going through the roof and, you know, things like that. Did you have anyone in sales or that was an entrepreneur that kind of helped you with think that, or was that just all on your own?
Yeah, I just developed it. Nobody really helped me. I can tell you that my dad tampered with entrepreneurialism for a split second.
Okay.
Had a couple businesses, but then got sued and lost all of it and went back to blue collar. So I was probably, I don't know, 10 to maybe 12 during those times. So I had a little entrepreneurial exposure with him trying some things. However, that was when I was in first grade at the school.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just started knocking on doors and they were buying one or two. And I just figured, you know, let me try something funny or, you know, let me develop a pitch. So I developed that one. I just put the candy bars behind my back and I said, do you have the phone number to a good roof repairman? They'd say, what? I'd say, because when you taste one of these, you're going to go through the roof.
Come on.
They started buying boxes at a time, and I knew I've tapped into something.
Yeah. Well, and then you're 17 years old. You go and work at a car dealership because you lied to him. You told him you were 18. You totally kicked ass at that. And you ended up doing that for 25 years. I did that for 3 months out of high school, but I was a big stoner kid, and they were going to pay me $1,800 a month whether I sold the car or not. So I thought, oh, this is a sweet deal. But, you know, why did you decide to go into car sales, man? And why do you think you excelled so well at that?
Well, first question, why? Is because I got a taste of actual work, hard labor. A lot of times people say, you know, hard work is all you have to do to succeed, and that's not true at all. I went out and did the hard work, you know, ended up squirting on stumps with this heavy backpack, getting poison oak. It was terrible. So I quit that, and then I opened the paper and saw an ad advertising for a salesperson at this Pontiac Volkswagen dealership. So, you know, I put on nice clothes, cologne, you know, smelled like freaking fresh out of the shower instead of up in the mountains getting poison oak and sweat and getting poked in the eye with a stick, you know. And so I went in there and I didn't know you had to be 18, but when I filled out an application, one of the guys was talking to me. So I basically just wrote down 18 when I was actually 17 still, but not far from 18. And, you know, within, I say a month, the GM came in because I was telling people I was 17 like an idiot.
Okay.
GM called me and basically said, everyone says, or I hear you're 17. And I said, yes, sir. He said, when do you turn 18? I said, about a month and a half maybe. And he said, you think you can keep your mouth shut that long?
Right.
And I'm like, well, sure. Because I had a bunch of cars out. And why I excelled, man, dude, I got to tell you, selling cars isn't hard. People aren't coming in there looking for a bag of oranges and you got to, get them to buy a car. They're coming to look for a car, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that difficult. What you need to understand is, I think sales is more of a relationship game. And I've always known that. And ultimately, I wasn't lazy. I was new, I was eager, and I was personable. So I just excelled because, man, we had a bunch of cars and they were looking for them. What a match made in heaven.
Right. Man. And you've trained, everybody from Grant Cardone and so many others. What is the number one key for being a great salesman? You talk about relationship. Is that the key, but is it something else?
Yeah, I think the key to being a really good salesperson is empathy. You have to be able to feel what they feel like. You have to be able to imagine yourself in their position. You have to listen and really, kind of have intuition.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, empathy is the number one thing, I believe. But other than that, because I don't know if you can learn empathy. I think you just have it or you don't. But ultimately, I think what you can learn is to ask good questions and listen to the answers. It's the salesmen that think sales is about talking that do the worst.
Right. I loved when you were on Ed's show and you kind of stumped him with that quarter, nickel, dime story. I was cracking up because he couldn't figure it out. That was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, that just proves active listening. Most people, when they're listening to you, they're listening, but they're not actively listening. And that's the difference. If I tell you what kind of car do you want, and you start to tell me, if someone's actively listening, they could also tell you what kind of car you don't want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that works in reverse. So a lot of times when customers, don't want to look at your product or service, they say, I'm just looking. In that particular case, the better you can listen and the better questions that you ask will determine how to get them to move forward. And then you become a closer. Right. The difference between a salesperson and a closer is the closer comes in when the customer says no and doesn't want to move forward. So a closer is who grabs the customer after they've said no, there's an objection, and can get them to continue to move forward regardless. The salesperson, again, you can make a great living as a salesperson, but just because you're a salesperson doesn't make you a closer.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Well, and entrepreneurship has so many fails. Everyone fails. Was there a failure that you encountered that just had this massive impact on you?
I've failed a lot of times. I don't think any of them had a massive impact on me, though. I don't really view failures as failures. I view them as attempts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so I tried, big deal. A lot of times people view a failure as something where it could cause some sort of major impact, but I've had a lot of failures, but I don't think any of them really impacted me very much. Water off a duck's back.
Right. Yep. How do you handle fear? Do you ever get scared about anything?
Well, I realize that you can't get rid of fear, but you can leverage it. So, like, for example, some people, when they want to start a business or approach a customer or, ask somebody out, they have this fear of loss. I just don't have it, only because I realize I fear not gaining. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Like, one time I had a buddy of mine ask me, help him figure out how to start getting the ladies. And so I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, how do you do it? I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, you get, a lot of girls. I said, dude, listen, let's go to the mall after school and I'll show you how to pick up the ladies. So we show up there and, I literally see this beautiful girl walking by. I'm like, dude, look right there, that one. He goes, dude, I'm not asking her out. I said, why? He said, what if she says no? And I said, well, then you'll be in the exact position you are right now.
Right.
So the thing is like, if that, it turned a light bulb on in his head, and he realized that was true. In other words, he was in the same position he would be if she says no. The worst thing in his head was her to say no. And that would only put him in exactly the position he's in.
Yeah.
So once he realized that, he went up and asked her out. And of course she did say no, but that started to get him to, willing to ask people out, and he started asking people out, and next thing you know, man, he was like a really popular dude in school, and he dated more than almost anybody because he took more ups. He basically asked everybody out,
That's
and
awesome.
and a bunch of them said yes, more so than the normal person because he asked so many people out.
Right.
Same thing with sales, same thing with life. I don't fear losing, I fear staying the same. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just change what I fear.
Yeah.
Most people don't change what they fear. They just cause it to paralyze them.
Yep. Oh man, it's so good. I want to talk about your closer school. You have this thing. It's currently only $397. It's a smoking deal. But what are folks getting for that price, man?
Well, the reason it's $397 is because I created a master class that basically lays a foundation. And then my plan was to go in and really drill down on preparation, mindset, negotiations, follow-up, all of the things I've learned over 40 years.
Yeah.
So I made it $397 because it's not all in there yet.
Gotcha.
But I will raise the price when I start dropping that in there, because it'll just be a massive library of unbelievable information. Right now, there's some unbelievable information that doubles, triples, quadruples revenues, and literally makes people better human beings.
Right.
So I put it $397 because it's not completely filled up yet.
Okay.
And so the incentive is buy it now when you're only really buying it for the course, and then when I drop all the rest in, you just get it free. By the way, right now it's $397 for life. As soon as I drop in the rest, it's going to be $397 a year. It'll be $997, and it'll be per year. So if you're going to get it, I'd get it now.
Right. Oh man, it's such a great deal. I just talked to a buddy this morning. We're both going to jump in, man. So I'm excited about it.
Overall, man, I'm telling you right now, the master class on sales and closing would literally take a good, solid salesperson and turn them into a badass.
That's what I'm liking, man. That's what I love. I work for a startup right now, but my passion, podcasting, working with, with folks like you and things like that, man. So hopefully my podcast can go to the next level, and that's what I need, man. I need the closer school for sure, man.
You don't have to close to do a podcast unless you're trying to close people to be on it.
Right.
But you don't have a problem being on it, dude. It's the beard. The beard and the flag's what closed me.
Nice. Well, I appreciate that, man. Absolutely, dude. You have this new book coming out, Lessons I've Learned the Hard Way, so you don't have to. It's on pre-order right now. Folks should go and do that. When's the actual book come out?
Whenever it comes out.
Okay.
I wish I could say, November 15th.
Yeah, totally.
But I have a couple more chapters I want to put in it before I consider it done.
Oh, nice.
It would have been out before, but then the COVID thing crashed kind of the world for a split second. So I said, let me put it off. And then that became 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I would say in the next 15 days, I'll finish. Nice. And then I'm going to ship it off to be printed, and however long that takes. So I would say probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks, it'll be done and shipping.
Okay, man, I'm excited for it. I'm going to be picking that up for sure. Now, as I mentioned, you're the CEO of LightSpeed, where you guys help folks create, launch, and market their own interactive courses. How did all that come together? Like outside after car sales, how did you, put this thing together?
Well, during car sales, I rose up through the ranks, started running the teams and running the dealerships, and I realized that I had the ability to pretty much take anyone off the street and turn them into a badass closer, and a badass closer can make real money.
Yeah.
Right. So I took these, people that I knew, a family, is a guy worked at the dealership, and I took his ass, brought him up front, taught him how to close, and just changed his life, watched his whole family transform, and thought, man, that's cool. I want to do this for a living.
Yeah.
So I basically quit my job, started a training company to go do it for whoever wanted to hire me.
Yeah.
So I started that, and then it started to make me realize that training is not just, spending an hour and talking. And the way I realized that is because when I first started, it wasn't really working. I'm like, what's going on? And I said, man, what was I doing before? I was making freaking people left and right. So I tracked what I was doing meticulously before when it worked really well. And then I tracked what I was doing after I quit and started my own company. And I realized that there were 4 ingredients that were making me successful that I didn't realize, that I didn't bring with me to my new business. And so it was kind of struggling. And so once I realized that, I knew I had to invent something to fix it, which was our LightSpeed system. and boom, the rest is history. Once I built it, it worked for me. And then I started showing it to all the other big name trainers. And next thing you know, LightSpeed's a multi-million-dollar worldwide, leader in tech. Like I became a tech CEO out of the blue.
Yeah. Oh man. So cool. I mean, what's next for you? I mean, what's the big goal that you got going on next?
I need to, my goal is to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. So that entails continuously doing that. I don't have any other goals. I think that's a lifelong goal. I don't think it's possible to achieve in a lifetime. I think I can only inspire people to finish. But at the end of the day, if we had the knowledge from all the people who have it available to all the people who need it, failure would become obsolete.
Right.
I mean, the reason people are going out of businesses is because they don't know how to close. They don't know how to secure financing. They don't know how to, use QuickBooks. They don't know how to find customers. There's a problem, and that's why they're failing. Yeah. Marriages are failing. Children are dropping out of school, getting pregnant early. What's going on? Why all the failure?
Right.
Well, I found out the failure is from a lack of information. Obviously there's exceptions to every rule. Some people might fail because they have a chemical imbalance and they want to. I don't know.
Right.
But most people don't want to fail. Like for example, if you started a business, do you want to succeed or fail?
Absolutely succeed.
Okay, so then why did 92% of businesses go out of business within the first year? There's 28 million small businesses in the United States. 92% of businesses go out of business the first year.
Wow.
So again, why is everyone going out of business? And when I say everyone, I'm being dramatic to make my point.
Totally.
Because a lot of us stayed in business, brother.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the end of the day, that's my point. I want to raise the quality of life for the globe.
Yeah.
And that means to get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. So like every time someone says, what's next? What's your next goal? Like, I can't think past this one.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, I wanted to transition to a couple fun questions to end the show. I'm a big music guy, so I was going to ask this. Do you have a favorite band or favorite type of music you like to listen to?
Right now, my favorite is a rapper.
Okay.
NF.
NF. Okay.
He's actually a Christian rapper, and I didn't even know it. I'm listening to the tune. I'm like, dude, this guy's like Eminem. This is badass.
Right.
And it turns out he's a Christian rapper, so I can play all the music around my kids, and it doesn't bother me. But when you say favorite, I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm just really digging him right now. I believe it or not, my wife got me into country music. So I'm digging some country people too. Like Tim McGraw is always awesome. But at the end of the day, man, music of all kinds, I'm a big, big fan. I would say music is my favorite.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Again, people always hear me, like they see me driving home, I'm listening to rap. Then they see me, I'm listening to country. Then they see me, I'm listening to heavy metal and hardcore, old school, classical. Everyone's like, dude, what kind of music do you like?
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Yep. That's I used to just be the straight metalhead back in the day. I worked for Universal Records and they said, no, you have to actually listen to these other rap groups and country bands. And I was like, what? And then slowly kind of opened my ears to other, types of music. And so, yeah, I'm all over the place as well now.
Right on.
Last question for you. You mentor millions of people virtually and in person, but who mentors you?
I receive mentoring from a lot of people. I mean, because of my clients, I can, pretty much text or tap into a lot of the, marquee names of the world and brands and CEOs you've never heard of, but are very smart and successful. So, everyone mentors me, believe it or not. My own children I learned from. I was learning some things the other day. I'm thinking to myself, man, like it's unbelievable that if everyone realizes when they walk around the earth that when you see anybody and realize they know something you don't, and you have the intention of seeking knowledge, when those two meet, I think there's a little bit of magic that happens. So my number one, mentor is life.
Yeah.
Life is my number one mentor. But again, I mean, I could say Grant Cardone's taught me a lot of things. Tony Robbins, but again, I mean, I don't have to know them to teach me either. Right now I'm digging on Robert Greene, he's teaching me some things. He's mentoring me some things. So remember when people are listening to this, because a lot of times I hear people, well, I can't afford a mentor. Well, usually folks, mentors don't charge you. Okay. Yeah. The people that charge you are called the coaches and consultants, right? So if you're paying for mentoring, it's not really mentoring. In my book, it's coaching or consulting.
Yep.
Why? Well, because usually mentor means, your grandpa put his arm around you and helped you, or somebody in the business kind of took a like and put you under his wing and started teaching you a few things. That's mentoring.
Yeah.
But if you realize that everyone you encounter knows something you don't, and you intentionally seek knowledge on a regular basis, man, you're learning from everybody.
Yep.
Everybody. So if you can't afford a mentor, because a lot of people tell me that,
right?
$20, a download Audible, a YouTube video, a podcast is mentoring. Don't make an excuse not to get coaching and seek knowledge. That's one of the biggest mistakes I've made. And I'll tell you, people always say, what do you regret? I regret not seeking knowledge sooner.
Yes. Yeah.
My dumb ass knew it all. I didn't read books. I wouldn't listen to you. I wouldn't listen to them. Wouldn't listen to anybody. I knew everything.
Right.
Now looking back, if I could go back to 20 years old and start devouring books and seeking the knowledge with intention, buddy, I would have been a billionaire by 30 years old.
Yeah, man. Same way, man. Same way. Brad, such an honor to have you on my show, man. This was mind-blowing show, man. I so appreciate taking the time and coming on and chatting with me today, man. It was really, truly an honor to have you on.
Man, thanks. It's truly an honor to be invited. I'm like, dude, I ain't got a beard.
No beards required, man.
But that must make me extra special to get on this show without a beard.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching the show today. I so appreciate it. Please leave a comment down below. Leave us a review. Share this video. We want to get it in front of as many people as we can. I'm going to continue to bring on the best guests possible, from world changers, entrepreneurs, success-minded people, and the best up-and-coming fighters, real stories. We are creating visionaries here on this channel. Thank you so much for checking it out. Have an awesome day.